Pottery is something I've always been interested in trying, and when Sandy from the Pottery Co. here in Sydney reached out to invite me and my sister to a studio to learn about Korean pottery and try our hand at throwing some clay, we had to jump at the chance to finally do it and discover for ourselves that all those social media pottery accounts really do make it look easier than it is. Upon arriving, we were greeted by Henry, but also by a collection of vases and bowls made from various clays and glazes. We also had a look in the back at the gas and electric kilns and some of the special glazes that were imported from South Korea. The first thing we tried was wedging clay, which was way harder than we expected. Wedging is supposed to help work out any of the air in the clay, which you can see in my attempt, I failed. But Sandy was nice enough to wedge our clay for us when we moved on to throwing the clay. Sandy explained to us that in Asian pottery making, during the throwing process, the clay is spun clockwise, and while trimming and decorating, it's always done counterclockwise. There wasn't a clear reason why this is the case, so if anyone knows, be sure to leave a comment explaining why. We got to throw some clay into small bowls and our attempt at some cups too. You can see the progression of mine here. I think I did alright for my first ever time throwing clay, although getting the bottoms right was pretty hard. And then we practiced trimming on some bowls that Sandy had pre-made before attempting to trim our own bowls, which I found was the most fun part. I could easily get carried away with doing this all day and made our pieces look pretty good if I say so myself. But we had to move on, so we tried throwing some porcelain clay, which I found much more challenging. My sister seemed to have found it a lot easier than the clay before. By the end of our time at the Pottery Co., we had made a good few pieces, which all still need to be trimmed, dried, fired, glazed, and then fired again, which obviously means we'll have to be back soon, so be sure to follow to see part 2 when we return to see our final finished pieces.